prior to COVID, and we brought them back and are glad to do so to bring you up to speed on what's going on at the hospital. I want to start off just by thanking the board members for being here tonight, as well as the staff for showing their support of the hospital. I also want to recognize our dietary department for the awesome cinnamon rolls and peanut butter twists that we get to enjoy tonight, Prairie Land for hosting us, and Nex-Tech for helping us broadcast this virtually. So just to give you an overview of how the meeting is going to go this evening, we're going to go into department leader presentations here shortly, followed by a CEO presentation and question and answer. We're going to do the live audience first, followed by the virtual audience if we have time. We're going to try to keep this to an hour, so I would recommend if you don't get your question answered tonight, no worries, write them down on the notepads that we have back here. In addition to, I've provided my email and my phone number at the hospital on the agenda. Feel free to contact me after the meeting, and I will post answers to the questions as soon as I can by the end of the week, hopefully, so we get all of your questions answered. So I want to talk something about the health foundation that we have at the hospital. Something that we have that's going on that's really exciting is that we were awarded $150,000 in state income tax credits through the Kansas Department of Commerce's Community Service Tax Credit Program. This is the first year that we've been able to get these tax credits, and we're hoping that they will help fund a new CT scanner for our hospital in the next few years. These tax credits are good for tax years 2022 and 2023, so you can make a donation now, and you can make a donation next year and be able to get the benefit of the tax credit program. So like I said, donations are being accepted now. It is a minimum $250 donation, and how this works is because we are a rural area, we get a 70% credit. So that means that, as an example, if you make a $1,000 donation to the Norton Regional Health Foundation at the hospital, you'll get $700 in state income tax credits, and then $300 you're eligible for the federal income tax deduction on the remaining amount. So again, this is an exciting opportunity. It incentivizes donations to our hospital, and I wanted to let you know about it, and that I'll be accepting donations this year and next year.
I'm Claire Bliss. I'm our Chief Information Officer at the hospital. This is really tall. I need to bring this down. So I came to talk to you guys tonight about some changes that we have coming up at the hospital on the IT side. In February 2021, we were notified by our current charting system. Electronic health record is the technical term for that, but they are going into life December 31st, 2022. So that means that they're no longer going to support that system. They're no longer going to update that system, enhance it with all the regulations that are required for the future. So that caused us to have to move to a different EHR. In that process, we decided to take it as an opportunity and shop around and find something that we felt would match the hospital for its needs and wants and desires to be able to grow. So in collaborating with the staff and working on each department as far as what they felt like they needed and what they wanted, we all agreed on Cerner Community Works. Cerner is a well-known company when it comes to electronic health records, and then the Community Works side is made especially just for critical access hospitals for our size to be able to function. We started this process. I went to the board and got it approved in November 2021, and I have kind of been working on this in the background, and then all of our staff got involved in some meetings just this August. We did have a delay in getting started just because there's over 200 hospitals that are in the same situation that we are in, and everybody is moving to a different EHR, either Cerner or something different, and they didn't have enough teams and staff around to be able to do that. So to have a smooth process, we were delayed. With that, they will continue to support our current system that we are on to where it will function. They just won't be doing any improvements to it after December 31st this year. Right now, we are in the work process with our staff. They've had a lot of big meetings and getting together and collaborating on our processes and how Cerner is going to make those processes better. So if you're around the hospital or the clinic, you might see some signs that say, in a Cerner meeting, do not disturb, or you might notice some areas where it's not as staffed, and that's probably because I'm pulling those staff away to help me with implementing this project. We will do lots of testing, lots of training, and then our actual live date is January 23rd, 2023. So I will come and talk to you again at our next community meeting to let you know the changes that we'll be seeing when you come in during that time, because we will probably slow our process down for a smooth and successful implementation. But good things coming to the hospital. This system will make our staff more efficient and provide more up-to-date healthcare with evidence-based, so we are very excited about it. The staff is ready to move to a easier system to use that will allow more time to do our jobs and not be doing so much manual work behind the scenes. So I will hand it over to Mitch.
Jump over that. Technology, right? I'm Mitch Bartels, the Radiology Manager here. I'm going to piggyback off of what Claire said about technology. You know, the big news from us is that we've upgraded our X-ray system. So thanks to the help from the county, Norton County commissioners, we got some grant money for new X-ray equipment. We're really excited to use that. It got installed a couple weeks ago. We got training on it last week, and it's working very well here. So I don't know if you can see that or not, everybody. Sorry. So it's very wonderful. It's very nice. We've kind of made a jump from the analog world to the digital world, and it's going very well. We're seeing some nice upgrades in image quality. I think the biggest improvement from the public standpoint is anybody that's come to our department and maybe laid on the X-ray table, you had to step up to the table to lay down. The table actually lowers to the floor, so it's a lot easier for people to get on and off the table. So that's a really nice upgrade. Technology-wise, we're using about half the radiation dose for most exams now, which is a really nice improvement, especially from the safety vantage point for radiation. So really that's about all I have. So Lacey. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lacey Neidmeyer. I am the new coordinator for Cardiopulmonary Rehab. Before I came, we just offered cardiac rehab and stage 3 maintenance therapy. And as of June 15th, we implemented a new program. So Norton County Hospital offers pulmonary rehabilitation now. So we see patients that have certain diagnoses such as COPD, pulmonary fibrosis, asthma, emphysema, and we are also able to see patients who are dealing with long COVID. So if you feel like you may fall into any of these categories, reach out to your primary care physician, and they will reach out to me, and we'll see if you guys qualify, get you enrolled on the program. If you have a pulmonologist, you can also reach out to your pulmonologist and let them know that we now have this program available. So you'll get to come spend 36 sessions with myself and Emily Swatzel, and we will help get your breathing back in order. And I just want to give a huge thank you to the Norton County Commissioners. With their help, we were able to purchase a new monitoring system. The system that we had previously was about as old as I was, and we needed an upgrade. And the system that we purchased is absolutely phenomenal. The patients love it. We love it. It helps us provide state-of-the-art care to our patients. So just a huge thank you to them for helping us get that new technology for our patients to keep our patients safe. And that's all I have.
Good evening. Kellen Jacobs. I'm the director of the rehab department. As you've already heard, there's a lot going on at the hospital. Every department is affected, and we're no different. So we have recently made a couple of changes. So this is the biggest one, is that we're not under the roof of the hospital now. We're in what is the old doctor's clinic, which also houses the Colby nursing program, the LPN program. So we split the building with them. So that's the new address. If anybody needs therapy, or if you hear of anybody in the community that might need therapy, you can say, do you know they moved? Because Katie's done a great job. We've tried to inform everybody, but you never can reach everybody. There's no media outlet that touches everybody. So if you hear of anybody that needs therapy, that's where they go now. We had the new sign last Wednesday. We were in there as of Monday last week, so we've really only been there for a week and a couple of days. But we're excited. We have a little bit more gym space. We've added a little bit more equipment, so we can hopefully better rehab all of our patients and do so to the best of our ability. So we're really excited about the move. With that also, we have now offered a virtual physical therapy type of service. So you can call and request a physical therapy appointment. You can say that you want it to be virtual. We can do that all through your smartphone or your laptop or anything that has a camera. We can do this with a provider order or with direct access. You can just call us and say, hey, this is what I got going on. Everything else is basically the same. You just call our front desk. They'll make an appointment. You can request it virtually. We can do a hybrid, which I'll talk about in a second. And it's very convenient. So some of the conveniences are for these reasons. If you're a person who travels a lot for work and you're not in town for all your follow-up visits, we can see you for an evaluation, do a treatment or two. Maybe you're away on business. We can do a couple of visits virtually. Then when you're back in town, we can do some more hands-on therapy. So there's not big gaps in your treatment. Convenience, you can schedule appointments more at your disposal as opposed to our office hours, and we're pretty full, so sometimes it's hard to get in. This gives us a little bit better avenue of getting patients started and getting them going. If the weather's really bad, or if it's predicted to be bad, sometimes we hear that there's a blizzard coming and all of our patients cancel because they don't want to get out in the snow, understandably so. So that's a really great feature. We can still do a visit or two if we have a big blizzard and you don't want to get out, especially if you live on a country road or something like that. And you can still get a couple of visits in between when you might actually come to the physical clinic. Difficulty traveling, so a lot of our patients are reliant on somebody else to get them to our clinic. So if you've had a total knee replacement and it's your right knee and you can't step on the gas, and you're reliant on somebody else to actually physically bring you to the clinic and they have a job, getting to the clinic sometimes is very difficult. That's a perfect patient to be able to do this. We can see them all virtually, or we can do some sort of a hybrid. It works really, really well. I have 4 kids at home, and my wife has a hard time leaving the house sometimes because it's crazy. We don't always have childcare. So if you need some physical therapy, you can still do it from the phone. And I'm used to kids yelling in the background, so it's no problem for me to talk over that or ignore it because I do it all the time. So that's a really nice benefit that we're able to add to our already great service. We have a wonderful staff who've really been tremendous in our transition across the street. Definitely a big thank you to the other departments that have been involved. So our maintenance department, our EVS department for cleaning everything and getting it just the way we wanted it to happen. So even though those people might not be represented and talk here tonight, they were definitely vital in getting us across the street. So I want to make sure that we thank them publicly as well. So, okay.
I'm Jennifer Schoenberger, the manager of the specialty clinic and outpatient infusion and wound clinic department. Just recently, my guys, Jay Alexander and Travis Nightcamp, moved downstairs to what was physical therapy, which has allowed them greater area for volume of patients. Prior to them moving downstairs, the two of them shared a patient room, and if they had more than one patient, they had to try to use other patient rooms, which kept them from being able to access the patients, visually access or, watch the patients while they were getting their treatments. Don't look at me, Dr. McKinley. So right now, them being able to move downstairs is going to offer more efficiency, safety. The services that they do include specialty medication, infusion, injections, wound care. I do IV antibiotics, IV infusions, a lot of specialty medications, central line accessing, flushing, therapeutic phlebotomies, pleural vac, drainage, wound care, lots of wound care. And now that, like I said, since they've moved downstairs, they can see a greater volume of patients. How do I make this thing work? Somebody help me. Oh, there, sorry. So now they can, see numerous patients at a time versus 2 patients at the max before that they could have in their room with them at a time. And I'd like also to thank maintenance and EVS for helping them get moved downstairs also. And if you guys have questions, you can call the guys directly. They have their own line, or you can get a hold of me up at the specialty clinic. And Dr. Dady's next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Josh Dady. I'm Chief of the Medical Staff here at NCH. First, I want to just thank all of you for coming out and supporting us and the hospital. This is a wonderful turnout. We, often say the aspect that there is no community without healthcare, but there absolutely is zero healthcare without a community. And I am just very pleased to see all of your support out here for everything that you've already been told about, all the wonderful expansions and additions that we're making here at our hospital. In regard to our overall medical staff, we are expanding there as well. So for our provider group this year, in the last 12 months, we've added 3 new members. We've added Rebecca Cars came on, and she is a nurse practitioner that is helping us with our ER coverage, has been a wonderful addition to our overall staff and has helped our ability of our other clinic providers to have more time and availability that we have been using to expand our overall clinic hours and making ourselves more available to you as the community, as that has been a concern that was brought forward to us. And we've been able to expand that with greater availability where our needs have not been as much with our expanded ER coverage with our other providers. Jedediah Kane has come on as our nurse anesthetist. He took over for Jimmy, who moved, and he is part of Midwest Anesthesia Alliance, which is a company that we contract with to make certain that we have 24/7 anesthesia coverage, as we have brought back OB into the NCH, and so we need that coverage so that we make certain that we have surgical availabilities as well as epidural availabilities for our OB 24/7. And lastly, our hometown guy himself, Dr. Dakota Dreyer. He has started this month, September 1st. He started with us and has been a wonderful addition to our medical staff, and we are looking forward to his wealth of knowledge that he is bringing to us as an internal med physician. But we have a wonderful group here of medical providers that we hope to continue to bring you up-to-date evidence-based medicine and continue to expand with all of the programs that you've seen here tonight within our hospital. We want to make certain that we continue to be a strong core for this facility and for this community so that we can continue to bring these services that a lot of other smaller communities do not have access to. We want to continue to expand that and look into the future so that we can continue to be a pinnacle and a lighthouse here for the Norton community. But again, I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. It is a very good showing and a lot of support for all of us as staff at NCH. Thank you. Right. Thank you.
Good evening. It's great to see everyone. Thank you for being here. We have some good and positive things happening at Norton County Hospital, as you've heard already, and we are happy to share more information with you. I want to give you a quick overview of our organization, a little bit about myself, a quick overview of our management philosophy, how great our doctors are and our medical staff, some of the things that are going right at Norton County Hospital, and what you might consider doing to continue to support and assist our doctors, our hospital, and our community. So let's get started. Our Norton County Hospital is a component of Norton County, and we thank and appreciate our county commissioners who are very supportive and attend all of our board meetings. They recently increased our property tax mill levy for the first time in some 20-plus years. And of course, you've heard about what they've done for our new digital radiology equipment, as well as the new cardiopulmonary rehab equipment that Mitch and Lacey shared. We have a 7-member board of trustees that are working diligently, trying to balance things and trying to create a win-win-win for everyone. It all boils down to economic scarcity. We have limited resources and unlimited wants. I'm happy to be here. The Norton County Hospital was one of my first jobs in healthcare back in 1992. I was the in-charge auditor out here for several years. That is when I first got acquainted with Rich Miller, who had a positive influence on my life and my career, and his 40-year career here at Norton County Hospital is pretty remarkable and amazing. I also conducted audits for Sheridan Grove, Logan County, to name a few, of many other critical access hospitals across the state of Kansas. I took my first CEO job at Sheridan County Health Complex in Hoxie. When I first arrived there in 1999, they had a going concern audit report. And when I left there for a larger hospital in 2005, they were financially solvent. I am a CPA with a master's degree in business administration. I've got a fellow with the American College of Healthcare Executives and the Healthcare Financial Management Association, and I'm also a certified medical practice executive. My wife Stephanie was born here at Norton County Hospital. Stephanie and her family are lifelong residents in Norton County. We were married 32 years ago at St. Joseph Catholic Church in New Anlo, and we have purchased a home there. I'm also the vice president of our Norton County Ministerial Alliance, and I also routinely volunteer at our Envy Home and our Norton Correctional Facility. I've been VP of Physician Practices at Lafayette General Medical Center and Lake Charles Memorial Hospital, and there we employed 75 and 45 doctors and mid-levels respectively. And one of my accomplishments was recruiting and retaining 5 orthopedic surgeons who were in independent practice as of Southwest Louisiana Orthopedics. And several of them like to hunt in the Midwest, so I'm hopeful maybe we can encourage one of them to semi-retiring out here and provide part-time coverage for orthopedic services. Wouldn't that be great? Our new management philosophy here at Norton County Hospital is called Hardwiring Excellence. It is utilized by 600 hospitals across the United States. It recognizes our industry as a 3-legged stool consisting of patients, doctors, and employees. We want to connect to purpose, and what more noble profession is there than helping our family, friends, and neighbors to heal? Worthwhile work and making a difference are also guiding principles. Good communication is also encouraged in community and employee town halls or communication tactics that are encouraged. We want to hear how we can improve and enhance our services. In the hundreds of doctors and advanced practice providers I've worked with and employed, there are none better than our team here at Norton County Hospital, with Dr. Josh Gady as our Chief of Staff, Dr. Miranda McKellar, Dr. Teresa Neal, and our own native son, Norton's son, Dr. Dakota Dreyer. We are glad that he chose to come back to Norton. We also have a great advanced practice provider team of Jonna Inman and Kristen Vogel, who have supported our clinic for more than a decade. We also have Gina Salerno and Rebecca Cars, who do amazing work for our emergency services operations, and we're happy to welcome Jedediah Kane as our CRNA. Some things that are going right. In our audit report, the most recent one for the year ended 6/30/2021, it reflects a loss of operations of $2.7 million. Our last fiscal year audit is in process and fieldwork is scheduled for October 10th. Our unaudited results for the fiscal year ended 6/30/2022, this calendar year, reflect over $1 million of improvements in our bottom line. And our loss was only $1.6 million compared to $2.7 million. This was a significant turnaround in a short amount of time and reflective of the hard work and due diligence of our county commissioners, our board, our doctors, mid-levels, and employees. A large team effort to be sure. We will plan to bring the audit report and a presentation at our next community town hall meeting that we are tentatively planning on or about Tuesday, January 10th. We are still coordinating calendars and meeting room availability, and we will keep you posted on all of that. This past year, we engaged Dr. Doolittle as a general surgeon to provide services at Norton County Hospital. He is available 6 days per week, including weekends, and he has a great reputation in this area. He's worked in Phillipsburg, Oberlin, and Holdrege, Nebraska, and he has great outcomes. We are also excited for the new EMR that is under implementation, as Claire mentioned. Cerner is considered the best in the industry. Most of our medical staff have used this program in their training, and they are happy for the upgrade. Our Board of Trustees recently approved market cost of living and merit increases for all of our employees. We are all in a workforce shortage, and we are investing back in our employees in an effort to make this the best place to work, receive health care, and practice medicine. We don't want to lose any Norton County Hospital employees to a $1 an hour increase somewhere else. We implemented a new Ascentus evaluation system for our organization. It is important to let employees know how they're doing on at least an annual evaluation. This is considered best practice and a hardwiring excellence principle. There are several things that you can do to consider helping to support our doctors in hospital. As Katie mentioned at the beginning, the tax credits are a win-win that can extend your contribution dollars and support Norton County Hospital financially. That would be great. More clinic volume would be helpful. Our great medical staff have recently expanded hours. Appointments are now available at 8 a.m. every weekday. We are also offering same-day appointments and Saturday clinic as we have been. We are confident this will create a triple win for all involved, and we are hearing lots of positive comments. And we just ask that you help us to dispel 2 rumors that we heard at our board meeting last week. We're not getting rid of any doctors. They are our greatest asset. A hospital can't even administer aspirin without a doctor's order or protocol. We are also not canceling OB services. We are thrilled with our 30 deliveries last year and hoping we can continue growing the service line. It is a blessing that our doctors are able to offer these services right here at home. As you can see, we have tremendous positive momentum and great things are happening. We welcome and encourage your support. Our hospital was recently recognized at the Kansas Hospital Association Annual Convention. That's our award plaque on the table right there. And we want to share an award video with you. And also, one of our own nurses, Julia Thompson, was recognized as a Healthcare Worker of the Year. So here's our video.
Norton County Hospital is a critical access hospital in Norton County. We have a population of about 5,500. Half of that population is right here in the city of Norton, which is about 2,700 population. We have approximately 130 employees, and we're striving to make Norton County Hospital the best place to work, receive health care, and practice medicine.
There's a need in this rural area for hiring. I mean, there's a lot of people here who are hiring at the local level. Rural areas, I think, are even facing more of the issue than urban areas, and so we decided to form this recruitment and retention committee so we could address the workforce more head-on.
I think it was an excellent idea to have a diverse group of people to work on that. So we had a little bit of admin, we had a little bit of HR, we had me from respiratory therapy, we had somebody from lab. It was great to have people that didn't feel like they had a voice to now have a voice and be like, hey, these are the things that I've noticed. What if we try this? Because it's always great having different points of view because you never know who's gonna have that next best idea.
We got feedback from all of our staff throughout our hospital by sending out a survey and doing a wellness survey, things that they would like to see improvement on and how they would rank the most important things to them.
Our employees really wanted to feel valued, so we implemented a few new things to expand recognition. We brought on a bulletin board so our employee of the month now can share photos of their family, friends for the month. We announce birthdays in our huddle every morning that we hold, and we also have the opportunity to share the above and beyond every morning at huddle and have it out for all staff to read.
We also recognize the employees of the month by using our internal web, so it's called The Beat. We post their picture on there and we put their nomination there as well so people know that that was the employee of the month. There's an email that's also sent out, and then we also highlight them on our Facebook page.
Based on the survey that we sent to our employees, we decided to make some internal videos to help with the culture and communication among our employees.
Norton County Hospital's Recruiting and Retention Committee came up with this buddy system in that all new employees were designated or assigned a buddy that could just come in and help them with the ropes, help them to understand, introduce them to people. The committee tried to match people with common interests. So if we had an employee that likes sports, for example, we would assign an existing employee that likes sports. So I think that was a pretty innovative, and it was very well received by our new hires, and I think it's helped with our turnover that once we get them, we typically are able to keep them.
When we bring a new hire in, we first meet them, give them goodie bags, some Norton County Hospital things that they can have for their own, introduce them to people, get them to know more of the staff here so they feel like they're a part of the family.
Some of the best strategies that came out of the committee were things that I tend to find important as a physician, which includes wellness and some community service. The wellness benefit that we were trying to implement is having some paid membership to the gym here in town, but also to have some just mental health days built into our PTO that we could use.
On the recruitment side, one of the things that I think is very beneficial is that we redid our website, our careers page. It made it more user-friendly to be able to advertise our jobs in more of a condensed way instead of just a long form on our website like we'd done traditionally.
The Recruiting and Retention Committee came up with several great ideas to help with the situation, and one was a recruiting incentive, and we actually pay our staff a referral fee for if they can recruit someone to our facility.
Teamwork here at the hospital is so important because it takes everybody to promote great health care. Our housekeeping, dietary, nurses, lab, doctors, it just takes everybody to pull it off and to provide the great care that is our mission.
Are you ready? Okay.
Is this on?
It's for the virtual one, so you're gonna have to speak up.
Okay.
But that's for the virtual.
All right. Well, I didn't know. Okay. I can do that. First off, I want to commend you, Mr. Kirk, and the board for turning things around financially. That's a long time in the making. What I see is that, from your Hardwiring Excellence, it's an excellent book to look at. Staff is something that was one of the pillars that everything's created on. Also in your book, Hardwiring Excellence, it talks about fire starters. Fire starters are the people in our community or within our organization at Norton County Hospital that are on fire, they're passionate, what gets them out of bed, and they drive others to be excellent in their facility. I guess my question would be, with your focus on financials, what have you done that doesn't cost the facility any money to reach out, make people feel wanted, so you retain this long-time staff, and that these fire starters, they still have their fire burning bright long into the future and want to stay long-term at Norton County Hospital and want to really invest long-term in the facility? What have you done personally to reach out to these people to create that culture of a long-term employment or a long-term excitement about your facility?
Okay, well, thank you. Did everybody hear the question in the room? Yeah, some of the things that we're doing, as demonstrated in the video, is we're trying to recruit and retain everyone. We're trying to improve and enhance communication, hence this town hall meeting. We're also doing employee town hall meetings. We have purchased the book Hardwiring Excellence for every member of the Board of Trustees, the entire management and director team, the leadership team, and all new employees when they come on board. We tell them that we value them, we want to keep them, we want to retain them. We also value their ideas, and we welcome a new set of eyes coming into the organization, and we encourage them to be vocal and participate. And we said there's lots of committees available in this facility, and we encourage them for their participation. So when they first get started here, we assure them of all that and ask them, hey, there's a lot of different ways you can provide health care, and we're very interested if there's a better way that you've seen, or if you see any opportunities to improve and enhance, we welcome and encourage that. We have regular meetings with our team. We have regular meetings with our medical staff. Last week, I hosted a medical staff appreciation dinner where I thanked all of our medical staff for being here and told them we want them to stay long term. They are absolutely, as I said, a hospital can't even administer aspirin without a doctor's orders. So there's no question how critical and crucial role the medical staff play in the role of a hospital, and we've we're thankful that they're here. We're glad of the services that they can provide, especially the OB. And basically, we've made millions of dollars in investments in them, and we do not want them to leave. And I can say that on behalf of myself, the Board of Trustees, and we are working diligently with them and trying to meet their needs and their wishes as well.
I have a little bit more of a comment I want to make first. I recently spent 10 days at the Norton County Hospital. I was lucky enough to have Dr. Gady, Dr. Neal, and Dr. McKellar, all three at different points with my care. I had wonderful nurses, wonderful CNAs, physical therapy, respiratory therapy. I don't think I've ever had such good care when I've been in a hospital before. And, there was a lot of young girls that were, that came into my room and stuff, and we talked a lot. I spent 21 years in HR. So we talked a lot, and encouragement, and, just grabbing them a mentor, not just for the first week, not for the first 2 weeks, but get that mentor, somebody that will follow through with their career and stuff. There are some young CNAs that want to go on through and become nurses. Let's make sure that for the hospital's sake that we get that accomplished. So thank you to all of you that took care of me. I see bukus of you in this room. I appreciate it. I'm alive and well because of all of you. And kudos to all of you. Please, when we leave this room, we need to talk this hospital up. If we don't have a hospital in Norton, Kansas, my businesses have to be sold, and I need to go someplace we have medical care. I can't stay in a community that does not have health care. So as we get older, we all come to those terms that, you know what, we got to do everything in our power to make this hospital successful and to make these doctors successful. We've got a great team right now. It's staff, the employees, dietary, you know, Brenda came up and talked to me to see what I liked and what I didn't like. She's a wonderful cook, you know. Each and every person just took the extra time to take care of me and make sure that I was well taken care of. So, sorry.
Well, excellent, and thank you very much for that testimony, and you're 100% correct. I mean, the hospital is a key employer in the community, and without a hospital, you will affect dramatically the whole economics of the region. And since 2010, there's been 7 hospitals in the state of Kansas closed, and every single one of those hospitals lost, or those communities lost business, population, and everything else. So yes, our hospital is important to the school system, to the businesses, and you know, and I'm so excited to hear about the great care that you received. That's something that we've really also been focusing on. And one hardwiring excellent principle that we've rolled out is called AIDIT, which is an acronym that stands for Acknowledge, Introduce, Duration, Explain, and Thank. And we're trying to get every employee to get into the habit. You know, it's just a good tool, communication tool, and also to manage up. Yes, we have the best medical staff of any critical hospital in the state of Kansas, and we're going to be the best critical access hospital. And we want and encourage your support. We want to know how we can do things better. We want to know how we can do things more efficiently. And we're very excited and passionate about providing excellent quality care. And it starts with our providers. Dr. Gady is my personal physician. My wife goes to Dr. Neal. My father-in-law has been in here and received therapy services from our PT department. And absolutely. And you know, that's something that we can all do. I know a lot of employees that have family, friends, and neighbors that have left our clinic to go elsewhere, and we want all that. We want all that back. We want to provide all the care that we need right here in Norton County. And so, and I think some people have done a really good job of getting people to come back to our clinic. And our providers are standing right there with us, expanding the hours and the Saturday clinic and same-day appointments. You know, we want to be accessible. That's very important. So, you know, we want to meet the needs of the community, and we want to hear about how we can do it better. But again, I would just emphasize that we have a great team, and we've got some nice awards and recognition. This video was played at the Kansas Hospital Association annual banquet for everybody to see. We were the only hospital in the state recognized like this. Julia Thompson was recognized also as one of the Employee Healthcare Workers of the Year. And so we really got some really nice recognition, and we do have a great team. And, you know, it's been challenging, you know, the workforce shortage, COVID, and everything else that we've been hit with. It's been difficult. It hasn't been easy. But the employees have stood up and rallied together, the doctors, the advanced practice providers. You know, everybody is doing their best to make this the best place to work, receive health care, and practice medicine, and that's what we want to continue going forward. And I think as we accomplish that, I think the bottom line results will speak for themselves. I mean, so.
What's your plan to fix the billing issues that are currently going on in your hospital?
Thank you. That's a good question. The billing issues, that's a bit of a challenge in the organization. And first and foremost, I will tell you that before I arrived here, we actually terminated the billing company that was working on behalf of Norton County Hospital. And it's unfortunate, but they were let go because they got behind in the billing, and in some cases they were 12 months behind in the billing. So the decision was made a few more months before I got here to change billing companies. We're now with NI2, and NI2 is doing a much better job of bringing monthly reports to the board and to administration, and we present regularly about their financial results. And also, our new CFO, Rochelle Herenick, is here, and she and I happened to work together when I was at Sheridan County Health Complex, and she's got 25 years of CFO critical access experience, and she has already found and discovered communication breakdowns. We also, in addition to NI2, they bill the commercial Medicare, Medicaid, and the commercial payers, and then we've got another company called Millennia that does the self-pay billing and collections. So basically, we met with both companies, and we had crucial conversations with them about how they could improve and enhance. I mean, we have a big lag in our billing, there's no question about it. And but what we discovered was Millennia wasn't talking to our business office, Millennia wasn't talking to NI2, and there was a complete breakdown of our communication. So, for example, when they had a self-pay patient that we discovered had Medicaid, that wasn't getting communicated back to anybody that could do anything positive with that information and rebill it. But now we've fixed that communication process. We've fixed, and our goal is to get the bills out and get it collected immediately. I think we all hate copays and co-insurance and so forth. But best practice is to collect them at the door. And at one point we tried to do it and we didn't quite get it hardwired. But the plan is going forward. We need to collect the copays at the time of service. People understand and know, if they owe $50 on a visit or whatever it is, if you wait 9 months, 12 months to bill them, they've already forgotten about that visit, and they're wondering, well, didn't I pay that already? And then they have to go back to their personal records and, well, did I pay that by credit card or my bank account? Or, so our goal is to expedite the whole process so it's faster. And it's better I think, for the patients and community, as well as better for the collection process, for the financials of the facility, and there's a lot of positive reasons. So yes, the billing and collections, we're very excited about the positive changes that were made with the billing company, the communication strategy, and we're also kind of short-staffed in that area, so we're also hiring new people to come in and help support that initiative, that operation.
So as you know, a group of us community members were at the last board meeting, to talk about creating an open dialogue with you and the hospital about issues we're hearing around town, because everybody knows that we're hearing them. Tonight, all we hear about is good communication. We need good communication, everything. We wanted to foster a constructive dialogue with the organization and their, show support for staff who's here tonight. And I am discouraged to learn that they were reprimanded for speaking out or speaking up or having questions the next day, threatened to be coached out or written up in their personnel file, and I would just like an explanation how that fosters good communication within an organization.
Okay, so I presume you're talking about the leadership team meeting that we had last week? Okay. Okay, well, you said some specific things. So, basically, again, following hardwiring excellence principles, all communication is encouraged. And yes, we will hold people accountable. And yes, we want to let people know how they're doing. And yes, we did annual evaluations for the first time using the new computer system to help and assist and facilitate that. And we did have an incident at the hospital that that was discussed in particular. I don't know if that might be what you're talking about, but basically we had some medical waste, a red bag which is marked biohazard. It was full of glass test tubes with blood, and that got put into a black trash bag and then put in the dumpster. And so we got contacted by the Kansas Department of Health and Environment about that situation. That event could literally close the doors of the hospital. And I know nobody in this room wants that to happen. And so that was discussed in our leadership team meeting, and we wanted to be sure that everybody knows. And we do annual care learning is our system that all employees are required to view annually, and to basically it's a computer program. There's 21 modules that they have to watch and take a test, and included in that is medical waste, biohazard, and proper disposition of the same. And so everybody's had that training, and it could potentially close the doors of the hospital. So yeah, we did have a crucial conversation. We do not ever want to have a red medical waste bag put into a black trash bag and then put into the regular dumpster. Our saving grace with the Kansas Department of Health and Environment was the fact that we do have a contract for medical waste disposal, and basically we were told that okay, that was sufficient information for.
That was not her question. That was not her question. That was not her question. I'm done hearing about this. Answer her question. Please, answer her question. Are people being reprimanded by that meeting?
No, nobody's been written up for anything.
Please stand up and say something. Or reach out to someone that you know you can trust.
I'll just add a little bit to your question over here. My name's Jill Edgett. I am the president of the hospital board since Vaughn retired last January. We have policies and procedures in place. If there are specific personnel issues that need to be addressed, we ask that the personnel follow their chain of command, go up the chain. If you don't get an adequate response, there are, the board is willing to listen to those concerns. The board hears the same concerns in the community that you guys are all expressing. So, if it's an individual issue, we want you to bring that to us. Camille?
Just wait for my turn.
Okay.
You're done. Thank you.
For now.
Okay. Y'all skirted that really good. And there's a lot of pretty words. And there were some pretty words at the board meeting. I have a specific question. I guess this is for the board. We've heard it, and it was brought up at the board that, oh, our doctors we want them here. Everything's fine. Is this under the original contract? Are you honoring their original contract? Are you saying they're safe here if they take less wages? There's no transparency, and there's been a lot of words spoken, and that's why there's so many rumors in town.
Again, if there's someone that has a specific issue that they need addressed, I don't think a community meeting like this is it. All of the employees at Norton County Hospital are either salaried or on contract. Contracts are reviewed periodically with everybody.
Yes, I'm aware.
So, if it's time to review, then we review.
I don't think it's a specific instance. I don't feel like there's employees that actually feel like they can communicate with management because of repercussions that will happen. I wasn't talking about a specific issue.
Okay. We've made it very clear to the employees that they can come to the board if they don't have adequate answers in their chain of command.
Well, I do think some of the concern is that the rumor was around town pretty hot and heavy that we're getting rid of our doctors, our 3 new doctors. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
They're phenomenal doctors. How the rumor gets started is beyond me, but it was thick and heavy throughout. I mean, I barely get out of my house at all, and I heard it 3 times. And so that's really concerning. These people have established homes here. These doctors have. They've established their lives here. But if they live under the threat that at any moment they can be let go, why would they stay? Why would we want that again? We've
losing our doctors. We've gone through our hospital going down to basically nothing. Why would we even want to take the chance that that's gonna happen again? Nobody should live in fear with their jobs. Nobody should. If you're doing your job, nobody should live in fear. And if they are, we need to call that person out that's making them live in fear so that the board or whoever else can address that. Or it goes above the board if that's what has to happen. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. You know, and the board has never indicated that we want to get rid of doctors. We fought, people invested a lot of time. The community invested a lot of their own time and money to get our 3 new doctors here. You know, Dakota showed up in September. You know, we've been working with him for the last 3 years during medical school to ensure that he would come home. You know, things are in place to keep these people here, and that is the board's intention.
Well, I hope so, because we definitely have a good staff of doctors, and to lose any one of them would be terrible. It would absolutely be terrible.
We hear you. We hear you.
I have a generalized question. There's been talk about expansion of hours, and they're there more often. I'm just wondering, yeah, financially, or you've mentioned part-time off, you know, stuff for mental health days. You're extending the doctor's hours, you're extending nurses' hours, you're double booking, double scheduling, asking for people to bend over backwards to cover hours or shifts. Now we're extending other hours. What's the quality of care you guys are actually going to provide to everybody? That's limiting your nurses to callbacks, to follow-ups. That's limiting, you know, say there's 10 people. Now you want them to see 15 people. What's the quality of care going to be like? Are you going to keep expanding these things? Are you going to give them only 15 minutes to see people instead of 30 minutes to see people? I mean, what's the board outlook? What's their mental health status? Because that's who we should be concerned of, because they're the ones that are working for us.
The medical staff have their own review team. They meet monthly, weekly, monthly, Dr. Gady? Monthly. And they discuss issues and concerns and how are we going to do this. You know, just because we expanded hours doesn't mean everybody's there from 8 to 5. You know, they're working their hours, but we're making sure that we have a provider available if you need an 8 o'clock appointment. That doesn't mean all 5 of them are there at 8 o'clock, but we want to make sure that someone is there if people need to come in and be seen.
I have a question. I think this is a horrible setting for this type of a meeting. My question is this, probably starting with Mr. What have I got here?
Talk loud.
It won't echo.
Starting with Mr. Kirk, if you feel threatened, like you're going to lose your job, is there an open door to your supervisor or to Mr. Kirk, which is where that conversation ought to be?
Yes, there is.
Is
It's
ever
in our policy, there should be. If it's not, then there are proper ways to address that further up. So maybe the board is more aware of specifics, and we would be glad to address those with the people involved. Does that answer your question?
I think it did.
Okay.
My question is for Mr. Kirk. Did he hire
Why is she still employed? And what kind of background check did he do on that employee to make sure she was going to benefit our hospital?
And which position are you?
CFO.
CFO? Oh, good. If I was on call, I could get out of here real quick with that page going off. With CFOs, we have, they bring applications, and then we had a review team of all those applications. That review team, which was made up of employees, board members, HR, did the actual interviews of that person, and the board goes off the recommendation of the interview committee that we have the proper people in place.
So she is qualified for that position?
As far as I know. I'll go look tomorrow, but
In answer to your question, you asked if our new CFO is qualified for the position, and I'm pleased to say that she started August 8th, and so she's been here a little over a month, and she's already accomplished more positive things for Norton County Hospital than I can't speak to, but she has accomplished a tremendous amount for our facility. The communications on the billing, we're getting that under wraps, and that's a key issue, and she's done remarkable with that. We're paying sales taxes on stuff. We're a non-for-profit hospital. We should not be paying sales taxes. She found an invoice where we paid $8,000 in sales tax for a piece of equipment that we're utilizing for the facility. So she's sending in our sales tax exemption certificate and going after that money back. She's already on our audit and cost report, has done remarkable strides in getting that up and ready for audit. She helped us close the book. She helped us get our budget out. Our budget had not been distributed to our department managers and leaders because it wasn't completed. She's already done a remarkable job. We are blessed to have a phenomenal, not only she's qualified, I'd say she's one of the best CFOs of any critical access hospital in the state of Kansas. So in answer to your question, yes, she is absolutely qualified. And as I mentioned before, we worked together at Sheridan County Health Complex, and she did a great job 25 years ago there as well. And as Jill said, there is a committee. I mean, it was a recruiting committee consisting of the board, HR, myself, and employees, and it was the recommendation of the committee. We took the best candidates that applied, and she was far and above the best candidate.
I mean, I'm just trying to kind of go between what the question was asked. In other words, she have a degree. I mean, it sounds like she's doing a good job, but what are her credentials?
I would think if you want accurate information, why don't you call the hospital and visit with Shannon? Shannon's our HR person, and she would have access to specific employee information.
I know that we outsource our billing here. Is that a thing to bring back in-house?
If we had enough people, we would love to bring it back in-house.
Okay.
If I could, Jill, I could add something. At Rochelle's last hospital, they had their internal business office, so she is adept, and she's a specialist at knowing the billing rules and regulations. And yes, we've already talked about, we'll probably not start with the big commercial piece first, but the fees that we're paying on both of these companies are really high. So it's got our attention. It's on our radar screen, but we'll probably start with the self-pay collections because we don't want people from out of town, out of state, out of the United States, out of country, you know, calling up our people for our community members to ask them about a bill. So that's the first thing, and that's one, again, that's a goal that Rochelle has already promulgated to me, and I agree 100%. Yes, we absolutely want it. We'll start with the self-pay, and then we'll gravitate on. And again, we're talking to other vendors about other solutions that might give us the information that we need. And in fact, Equity Bank, our neighbor right next door, came and gave us a presentation about a system that will help us through the EMR computer conversion. Because when we go live on January 23rd, 2023, you know, we're going to be billing out 2 different systems for a period of probably 5 or 6 months, until such time as the new Cerner system is 100% responsible for it. So keeping track of 2 different computer systems, 2 different, you know, setups. They've proposed a new tool that we're very excited about, and we're having ongoing meetings about that. And if we got that tool, that not only would help us in the EMR conversion, but it will also it would eliminate the need for the NI2 reports, because everything the NI2 reports we could get from them also. And the price at this point, we're looking at potentially $100,000 worth of savings per year.
So do you have a time limit for that goal? Like within the next year, 6 months? Like what's the?
Well, the meetings are ongoing, you know, and we're asking them to come in immediately. And with the go live January 23rd, we'd like to have something in place before then. But you know, that will have to be vetted. You know, Rochelle and I will have to agree that it makes sense, and we'll put a presentation, and ultimately the Board of Trustees will have to approve whether or not we make that change. But yeah, I would love it if we could, you know, get this all implemented, approved by the end of the year, and go live, and then have a transition plan. You know, the contracts that we have, we've got to watch the terms of those too, because I mean, we can't cancel, and we've got multiple contracts with NI2. They do several different things for us, but a lot of them, you know, we can't cancel until June 30, 2023 either. So that all plays into the part of it. But great question, and thank you for asking.
I got the cutoff from the ones manning the live feed of this. I would suggest, if you have additional questions, we do have pencil and paper over there. Write your question down. Katie's going to try to have all those answers back out to you, hopefully by Friday. And she will post questions and answers on our webpage, I think is what she told me. One thing that I want to say from the board, we appreciate the people that have supported us. We highly value the staff that we employ. Our commissioners, I've been on the board, this is 11 years now, and this is the first time in 30 years that they have actually been able to give the hospital a raise in their mill levy, and we are grateful for that. Plus helping with some of our big purchase items. One, you know, continued support for the hospital from the county is kind of that full circle thing. Where does the county get their money? The county gets their money from us. If we want to support our own hospital, we have to be able to step up financially and help the commissioners do that. So our hospital is just like any business in town, that your business will survive if we have people walking through our doors. So, Rich, did you have something to finish off?
You know, I just have one comment I would like to make after listening to this discussion tonight. Over the years, the Norton community has been a tremendous medical care community in support of the hospital and medical services. And I've heard very good things tonight, which I'm glad to hear. I think that's expected of us when you come to the hospital, but we have to show that we can do it. If things aren't going right or you don't see it, you have another, for some of the things I heard tonight, if you've got questions, contact Brian, and if you're not satisfied with what Brian is responding to, there's a board of trustees. So to help make this a good community and maintain what we've had experienced over the past years, let's do our part in trying to be positive with things, and sometimes turning a negative into a positive is a lot of help. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Rich. We appreciate everybody's time and attention to come out this evening. Follow up with us, write your questions. Thank you for all coming.